Hey, VOLS fans. It's week one. Let's have a little fun. Getting ready to play Ball State. You want to join us? There's our link. And there is our link tree at the bottom. All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Welcome to week one, VOLS fans and college football fans of all shapes, sorts, and sizes, to the Very Orange live stream. I am one of your co-hosts, Super Genius Wiley, alongside my good dear friend. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm young Brandon, here for a third season of college football.
And it is time. Oh, the orange rain is about to fall from the heavens and bless us. Tomorrow night, the Fighting Lettermans from Muncie, Indiana, are coming down into the Devil's Den that is Neyland Stadium, the orange and white Devil's Den that is Neyland Stadium, and they gonna get that ass whooped. It's gonna be fun to watch. Yes, sirree. Let's get to it. Brandon, what do you want to start with tonight, bud?
Well, let's get after this Ball State. Can I say shit show? I'm gonna say it, shit show of a football team.
Well, they didn't exactly.
It's going to be like a carnival game, people.
They didn't exactly set the world on fire last year statistically. They were middle of the pack in the MAC. They finished 4-4. They were, I believe, fourth in the MAC West.
Yeah.
They averaged about 338 yards per game on offense. Yeah, they ran the ball. They ran for 130 per game, so that's not saying much. Their leading rusher is a sophomore by the name of Carson Steele, who bears kind of a striking resemblance to Thor. That's about as godly. The resemblance is about as godly as he gets, because he was their leading rusher, and he rushed for about 70 yards a game last year.
He ain't gonna be pretty after we get done.
God.
And keep in mind, folks, that is that was with their starter last year.
Yes, Drew Pitt, their starter last year. Drew Pitt was a 3-year starter, threw for a little over 2,500 yards last year. Not not terribly productive. Had 18 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, so not nearly um, SEC caliber efficiency. He might have been a scout team quarterback down here. You know, their defense wasn't any better. Their defense gave up 417 yards a game, almost 418 yards a game. Take that back. Not 420 yards a game. Pretty well balanced. Their rushing defense was a little bit better than their passing defense. Their passing defense gave up 243 a game. Rush defense gave up 177 a game. So we're going to see. This is if the Hook has a Heisman campaign, it's going to start tomorrow evening. He's got all of his weapons out there.
Yeah.
The real McCoy is going to be out there, out wide with brother Cedric on the other side, and it's going to be like shooting. It's going to be like shooting fish.
Well, let's talk about this also. There's a new head coach at Ball State.
No.
Is he not new?
He's not new. His name is new.
His name is new.
His name is Mike New. His name is Mike New. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He ain't new, but his name is Mike New. And he's pretty well traveled. I mean, he's coached a lot of different places. He was an assistant for the Saints for a little while. He coached in the Arena League back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was actually the offensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach for one of the better arena teams, the Nashville Cats. He actually, his one
I remember
connection to Tennessee was that Andy Kelly, who was the quarterback for the VOLS in the early 90s, was, I mean, the premier quarterback in the Arena League for several years, playing for the Nashville Cats before I think they eventually moved to Dallas, but put up some really good stats. I don't know if Andy's in the Arena League Hall of Fame. He probably should be, because he was really productive for a good period of time there. But that's where, I mean, so Mike New's pretty well traveled. He's been a pretty good coach. I mean, Ball State, before he got there, which I think this is his 4th or 5th year, they had never been to a bowl game before he got there.
Huh.
And he's at least.
Well, that's what they came out of the 2020 season ranked 23rd, which is impressive for a team from. Where are they from? The Mountain Athletic Conference?
Mid-Atlantic. Mid-America. Mid-America. Yeah.
Let's see. Who can remember this shit?
Well, I mean, there have been some good teams that have come out of the MAC. I mean, Northern Illinois has had some good teams. Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio has been in the MAC for a long time. So, I mean, they've produced some good players. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, of course, being probably the most famous. The most famous Ball State football graduate was Blaine Bishop. Played for the Tennessee Titans for years and years and years. Hell of a defensive back. So, I mean, I think it's just what's happened to a lot of these mid-major conferences is COVID just has played hell with them, because they have not been the same since 2020.
Yeah,
and their stats have certainly bore that out. I mean, they lost their 3 top defenders. They all graduated. Their current top returning top defender is a linebacker named Clayton Call, and he had maybe 40 tackles last year. And he's their top returning starter. Their quarterback is a 5th-year senior named John Paddock, who's who played in 3 games. He played 3 games last year. Has never started the full season, and honestly, from the way everything's reading, it sounds like he's the guy just because of attrition, because they couldn't get a transfer in there to supplant him. So, I mean, they don't have the weapons that we have on offense or defense. I mean, we need to be. There are going to be some first game jitters, of course, for some of the guys out there.
One of the big things was, if you paid attention to the VOLS, not maybe on the level that we do, that we have this little program. Their secondary's been a little, and that's what I'm. Maybe number one that I'm looking for is to see how our secondary is going to perform.
Well, I think the main issue that we had is depth. We didn't have. I said this a couple weeks ago on the SEC Bias podcast. I mean, you've got to have a next man up mentality, but at the same time, you can't. That's a mentality. That mentality only works when there is a next man up, and we absolutely did not have that. I mean, the only two times that in our losses really, well, 3 times, and by the way, I'm gonna give an advance fuck y'all to to our Georgia crew and Papa Gator for saying that if it wasn't for the refs, Tennessee would be undefeated. Well, first of all, that's not true. We've never said that.
No.
But they did. I mean, the refs did really, in 2 losses last year that had not been for referee calls, could have ended very differently.
Oh yeah.
Because the refs fucked up. I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple.
They gave us the around the corner special.
Yeah, and so and it wasn't a happy ending either. I mean, so we lost. I mean, Georgia flat out beat us. That's honest to God truth. If Joe Milton could have hit the broadside of a barn, we could have. I mean, we could have beat Pitt. We should have beaten Pitt.
I agree.
And Alabama, we got completely gassed in the second half against Alabama.
Yeah.
And Georgia, I still think we hung with them as long as we could.
Yeah, there just wasn't any depth.
Yeah. They had more. They had more. More of everything than we had.
Yeah.
Depth. Let's face it, talent.
Yeah.
Experience. So I mean, I do
not consider myself a delusional football fan.
No, I don't either. And so, which is why they give me all kinds of shit for not you're not responding to, you're not standing up to anything. I was like, I don't think there's anything to stand up to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and at some point it's just like
It's at some point it's the old analogy about the analogy about wrestling with a pig and slop. After a while, you realize the pig likes it. So I choose not to get down there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our resident Vanderbilt fan. This is our friend Mikey, otherwise known as Tater Door.
Yes. How's it going, guys?
So Mikey is going to address the conquest of the islands.
Yes.
For this weekend, and then probably the extinguishing of the extinction of the I believe Elon's mascot is the Phoenix. If I remember correctly, they're gonna finally make that some bitch extinct.
Don't jump the gun on me there, Drew. We'll get to the
All right, we'll get there.
Of course.
But we're very happy to have you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My hat is crooked. I can't get my hat straight. It's bothering me.
Don't you
Well,
hate that?
it actually well. See, your hat looks better than this one because I've got my headset on, so it doesn't
And
really.
it doesn't have that dumb T on it either. So there's that.
Well,
Oh.
stupid is as stupid does,
That's right.
as the Gumps would say.
Oh. Oh, the pain. Yeah, now say something, asshole.
Yeah. All right. Come on, let's not do Cotty him.
God, I can't
Let's
ignore
let him
that
let's let him
godlike
talk.
power. Okay, so we talked about the Fighting Lettermans.
The fiercest robin-sized bird.
You know, Blue Jays are just assholes.
Mm.
You ever watch a Blue Jay?
Bigger than a robin. Bigger than a robin.
Bigger than a robin. I actually one of my favorite episodes of The Big Bang Theory, a Blue Jay plays a prominent role in. If you ever
that was Letterman's tag. That was Letterman's tag. He was always like, "We are the fiercest robin-sized birds." So that was his thing.
But
See, I'm glad everybody on here is of a certain age that can appreciate David Letterman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love Letterman. I went to Letterman.
Well, some of us are of almost a completely different generation. So.
All right. So here's what I'm looking for. We kind of touched on it. Tillman and Brew in the first half of this game. This is my thoughts on what their game plan should be. If it goes as according to plan and they cover that 35-point spread.
Which I think they will.
It's looking that way. It's looking that way bad. I think they go with Brew and Tillman, like first half.
Well, they're going to go with Brew and Tillman on the outside. They're going to put Jalen Hyatt in the slot.
Yeah.
They'll probably put. I would think they would put Princeton Fan in there more on running downs because he's bigger than Jacob Warren, so he's a little bit better blocker. Now Jacob I think will definitely be in there on passing downs. He gives him a little bit more of a vertical target than Princeton does. I think he's a little bit faster, a little more agile.
I'm consulting my notebook here.
Yeah.
To say this, don't be boneheads and play these boys in a 47-6 football game.
No,
freshmen get in there and get some.
I think if we're up big, middle of the third quarter, you're going to see Dylan Sampson in the game. You're going to see Chaz Nimrod in the game. You're going to see Squirrel White in the game. I think you'll see Squirrel White anyway.
Of course, Tennessee has a player named Squirrel.
Yeah.
We need to have Billy Bob.
Hey.
Or Joe Bob.
I mean, who is it? Who's got the kid that's named the coldest? Is that A&M or Texas?
I thought he transferred to Oklahoma State or something.
Okay, I don't know, but there's also, of course, there's also Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, that nobody's ever been able to beat old Floyd Womack, pork chop. That's still the best. That's still the best name. Floyd Womack, former offensive lineman for Mississippi State back in the day. But I think you will. I don't think you might see Taven Jackson in there in mop up. I think Joe Milton will play. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, here's I'm of two minds about it. If they want to really push Hooker for the Heisman, they're gonna have to play him later in the game than they probably should.
See that
they're probably gonna have to play him up until probably, I would say, to the end of the third quarter. I would not play him in the fourth quarter.
Well,
I would go with Milton in the fourth.
They play Hooker, but have some of these freshman wideouts. I'm looking for, I think Jalen Wright. He'll be in there at running back.
Yep. But the kid, like I said, the kid I'm looking forward to watching is Dylan Sampson. He came in as a 3-star, but he's been there since spring, and he's done a really good job. He's picked up the offense. He's really, really friggin' fast. Another kid I want to see is Elijah Herring. From the kid from defensive end linebacker from Murfreesboro Riverdale. Was the number one player out of the state last year. I think he's going to be a major contributor. Juwan Mitchell, I am thrilled to see Juwan Mitchell finally get the start at middle linebacker.
What about Roman Harrison?
Roman's going to get to play. He's not going to start.
Right.
He's probably
local kid for me.
Yeah, Bainbridge kid.
What I figured.
He's going to be he'll be your third. He'll be probably first sub in. But it's I mean, the two. I mean, running the 4-2-5, the two linebackers are going to be start out being Mitchell and Banks, and then I think you'll see Roman. I think you'll see Roman get in just out of the sheer rotation, because I mean, if you only got two linebackers, that defense eats linebackers. It really does, because you've got to have a pretty decent rotation there.
All right. Another besides our secondary is that left tackle position that's been vacated.
Yeah.
We got Gerald Mincy and Jemiah Crawford. Who do you think's got the edge in that?
Mincy's got the experience. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about Crawford to be able to make a judgment. Obviously, it's been pretty close. I could definitely see both of them playing, but honestly, they've really got to find somebody in there to solidify that spot, because that's a really.
Welcome, sir.
Max the Barber's here. Welcome,
howdy.
How's it going, man?
That's your blindside tackle.
Yeah.
For Hooker, you've got to settle on one guy there. There's got to be some continuity in that spot. Otherwise, you're just asking for disaster. So I think it's Mincy. I don't know. Max has more insider access than I do on stuff like that, so he may know the answer to it. I don't. But I mean, Mincy, I think definitely coming from Florida has an experience edge. Whether or not that translates to performance on the field, I don't know.
All right, sir. Any thoughts?
Well, Max, you're here. Come on, man.
Any thoughts on what, the O-line?
Yeah, that left tackle position, to be precise.
That's going to be iffy. I think they're going to rotate guys out and stuff like that. That's what Coach Tyler Hudinek was saying, and talking about wanting to rotate people, especially for the first 3 games. They want to have somebody established by the Florida game, of course, but if they can get it early on, because they're still having trouble with that left side.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. We honestly, my response is, you're gonna rotate against Pitt. You're gonna rotate against that D line of Pitt. Damn. Okay.
Yep.
That's a little scary right there.
Here's my thought. I think they better have it fucking figured out.
No, I'm sure they'll have it figured out by then, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, hell, we'll have to get to some picks here in a second, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We got everybody here.
So who all is going to the game tomorrow? Anybody going to the game?
I had planned to, but my plans fell through, so I'm going to be watching at home. Plus, I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead and say it.
I just dragging ass into work on Friday after that game was going to be brutal. So I was not looking forward to it. So I'm sad I'm not going, but then I'm not. I mean, I'll still be up late, but at least I won't have to fight traffic all the way back to my bed and be in bed, get home until 2 a.m. and have to get up at 6. To make it to school on time. And I mean, so yeah.
Hey man, I saw your Instagram. In case you're wondering, I run the social media for our little dog and
concern here.
Oh yeah,
I your shop, and I liked it a lot.
I appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Place.
Appreciate it, but yeah, it's very different. That's for sure.
Yeah. One question for you, sir. As you can tell, some of us like the Braves. There's only one correct answer to this. Who's your favorite MLB team?
Ooh. See, I do like the Braves, but they're not my favorite team.
Let's go ahead and say it. Oh Lord. Seriously, we're going to be pulling this childish crap all night. Okay.
Oh, that's great. That's fun.
Mikey liked it.
Pull the Band-Aid off. Just go ahead and say it.
White Sox.
Okay.
Oh, that's not that.
I can live with that.
I thought you were going to say Yankees, and I was like, oh.
Oh God,
no. It could have been worse. It could have been the Mets.
No. Growing up, one of my best friends is in growing up his childhood and stuff like that. His family were huge White Sox fans. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna root for the White Sox. So
early on, I liked the Cubs just because Ron Sandberg played for him, and he's the best second baseman I've ever seen.
I hope the Cubs have another run like they did, though. That was nice.
Right.
That was nice.
Well, that wasn't that one. Let's go ahead and get back to what we're actually here for, guys.
Foosball.
It's the foosball, Bobby Boucher. Mm-hmm. All right, let us make some picks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so used to saying ladies and gentlemen because we have Shelby in our group now.
Shout out to SEC Biased.
Shout out to SEC Biased.
Actually, I caught myself the other day because I always say something like, look here, boys. And I said, look here, boys and girl.
All right. So let's do, we want Tennessee first or last?
I'll save for last.
All right. Then I will just put this up here as it is. All right. There's our first game.
All right. Since everybody else is in Tennessee and we have one person in Georgia, let's let the Georgia person lead off on this.
All right. Fair enough. Is Georgia's defense going to be as good as last year's Georgia defense? No, I do not think so. But do they have 37 receivers that can catch the ball at any point? Yes. I made a comment last night on the between the hedges or behind the hedges, whatever it is, about Arik Gilbert split wide, then Lad McConkey in the slot, then doing the other two tight ends in the game, and they're like, what about these other 17 other receivers that we have that are 4 and 5? Like, they're going to score points at will. And I don't know that Oregon's secondary is capable of holding those guys back. 17 points seems like a big spread for what is it, a 3 versus 11? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But you know, I think Georgia covers. I think they win handily, quite frankly. And you know, Oregon's got a long flight to Atlanta. The Dogs have a 45-minute bus ride with a GSP carrying them the whole way. So it's basically a home game. Obviously, I don't think Oregon has the firepower to even overcome 17 points spread. So yeah, Dogs easily.
All right. So far, I don't detect any lies. Max, what do you think?
I'm thinking early on. I think Oregon will put up a good fight. But in the end, I will probably have to say UGA will win. I'm going to say by about 10. I'm going to say 10 points.
Oregon historically has been very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And to play a team that typically has that kind of speed, first game of the season when you've got a defense that's going to be good, not as Mikey said, not as good as last year. So they're still trying to establish their identity a little bit. I think it's going to be a challenge, and they're going to struggle a little bit in the first half of the game. I agree. I also agree with Mikey in that Georgia's going to be able to score at will, for the most part. I think 17 points is a little high. I think Georgia's going to win. I think Georgia's going to end up pulling away in the second half. But I mean, I'm gonna give them a little more credit than Max is. I mean, I'm gonna say 14. I'm gonna take Oregon plus 17. I think there's too many points.
All right. I kind of feel the same way that 17. And I like what you said. I think Oregon is going to come out there trying to prove something.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they've typically been fast-paced. Not unlike a certain orange and white team, just not as many weapons. Not a proven quarterback.
Well,
I don't know though.
You know who Oregon's quarterback is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been Georgia's MVP 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Exactly. Oh, Bo.
What is he? 0-3 against UGA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he'll. Yeah, like I said, he'll keep it close, but he'll find a way to screw it up in the end. He usually does. So, Brandon, what's your call? You're taking Oregon plus 17?
I think so. I think this is what I think about Georgia. I think they've got a lot to prove. And being a team that went one season relying mostly on defense and now making that switch. But they're getting all these recruits, all these kids that can ball. I don't think that 17 will be a problem. And that second half, I think it's going to be a runaway. So, yeah. I'll take the
Say it,
Dogs.
Brandon. There you go.
The Dogs. You know I'd rather say that than Bama, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Gumper.
Ugh. Oh, this one's about to get juicy.
Oh, hell.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. I was literally just having a heated conversation with one of my Florida buddies.
So are we.
Oh, you have no idea. Okay. So if anything's gonna get screen captured from this episode, this is gonna be it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is where I'm losing my shit. Okay. All right.
I'm here for it. Go.
Our friend Ethan Hewitt, Papa Gator, posted about this long of a message in our Facebook Messenger the other day, stating everything Florida has and all the deficiencies that Utah has. And at the end, he said, "Gators win by 17."
High as a kite.
I was like, because he could not make the.
Wait. You know what was wrong with him?
Didn't have the Milo.
He hadn't had his Milos that day.
And he hadn't been eating his French's yellow mustard either. I mean, it's just that's everything a growing boy needs right there. But I mean, and I said, he said he had to make other plans that night. I said, yeah, you must be planning to go to his local crack house to get a refill. And I'm like, look, okay, Florida. New coaching staff, no depth anywhere, as thin as at wide receiver as anybody in the country. I mean, what are you going to expect? You're going to expect AR-15 to do everything? I mean, and a coach who's just don't get it wrong. Billy Napier can coach some ball. He's proven at Louisiana that he can coach the ball, but he ain't proven in the SEC. He ain't proven in Florida. So that's going to take some time. But at Utah, you've got a proven coach, a proven coaching staff, proven methodology, proven success, a proven defense, a proven system that works. And you think your bullshit's going to carry the day by 17? Oh my God. Utah minus the 3. I mean, it ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to be definite. And I mean, and honestly, anybody who's picked Utah to make the CFP, honestly, I think they may be every bit as good as USC.
I picked Utah. That little thing we filled out the other day. I think it'd be there. I mean, it's insanity. Florida very well could win. They could, but by 17. Hell,
son, you must have gotten some bad meth. Somewhere down the line they spiked it with something. Put some
trailer park meth.
Put too much drain cleaner in it. I don't know.
It was purple. It wasn't blue.
Got some bad gator tail for supper.
Mikey, any thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm going with you. I've got Utah picked to win. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm tempted to take Florida in the points. I think we're talking like walk-off type thing. I'm not going to. I'm going Utah, straight up. But I think like walk-off field goal type thing.
Well,
that's kind of like what I was thinking, but instead of Florida making that walk-off field goal.
Yeah. All things being equal, Mikey, I would agree with you. Normally, in a game like this, a 3-point spread is a sucker bet. They're asking you to take the dog. They're begging you to take the dog. But all things are not equal here. It's just not.
No, it's apples to oranges. And don't agree, I wasn't saying that I think Florida was going to win the walk-off. I think that Utah wins by a walk-off or something. Like a 20-17.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. This game will be more competitive than the Georgia-Oregon game will be.
Oh yeah.
So
it's going to be a lot more fun to watch, I think. But
you know what? I'm going to be the oddball out, and I'm going to say Utah by 14.
Ooh.
I really think Utah is going to come out, and I think Utah's offense is going to put on a show.
Now, is that because you hate the Gators?
That, and then also I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Florida defense.
No.
So their secondary is gonna. I could definitely see their secondary struggling in this game and throughout the whole season.
That man put his stamp on it by 14.
By 14.
Shit, that leaves me. Damn, 3 points. Begging for that dog to be taken.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you.
But it's the fucking Gators, and there ain't no way I'm gonna say that name.
I mean, if I'm Utah, I'm pissed. It's only 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, so
they ended up pretty well ranked at the end of last season.
yeah, they finished I think 10-2.
Yep.
Well, they're number 7 this year, I think.
Yeah.
So.
They have pretty much the same team as last year.
Yeah, and USC's and right now USC's all hype.
Yep.
So
I think Utah is the team right now as far as I'm concerned in the Pac-12.
Same guy was also running his mouth about USC, saying that they were going to take Nico from.
Look at this. So Utah's ranked number 7. They're a 3-point favorite over Florida, who is unranked. Oregon's ranked number 11. They're only a 17-point dog to number 3 Georgia. You know, there's the numbers don't pan out there if you look at it from that perspective. So.
Because I mean, if you go based off last year alone, Utah was vastly better than Oregon.
Right.
Vastly. It wasn't even competitive.
Well, they proved it twice. You know.
Yes. Exactly.
Somebody thinks highly of Bo Nix.
Georgia fans.
Yeah. All right, let's go on. Let's move on to the next one, Brandon.
Let's go on. All right. This one, the national media cares more than we do, but it's on there, so.
Is this in Columbus?
The I don't give a shit ball.
I don't give a shit ball. Oh, Lord.
Max, we can start with you if you'd like.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say, let's see, what is it? -17 Ohio State. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm gonna say -7. I'm gonna say Ohio State's gonna take it by 7.
Okay. Let's go in reverse. Mikey?
Give me the Catholics and the points.
Yep. The Catholics and the points. Dren?
This one's kind of interesting, you know.
It is. I'm surprised there's such a gap.
This is 2 versus 5 with a 17-point spread.
Notre Dame. Yeah. I mean, I honestly think these guys they love their coach. They love Marcus Freeman. For good reason. He is dyed in the cloth Notre Dame. He is basically everything Notre Dame has been looking for a coach. He's devoutly Catholic. So they're going to come. They're going to come. Yeah. He's
so
good
he
Catholic.
pays for hookers with cash, is what you're saying.
God. Oh, please don't go there. Just don't get me started. They're going to come out all kinds of fired up. And I think it's going to be a similar situation to Georgia, Oregon, where it's going to be.
They just get worn down.
They're going to beat the hell out of each other 3 quarters, and I think Ohio State's got more muscle behind them. I'm going to take the Catholics, but just because I think 17 points is a little much.
Yeah.
I'm more of a 14.
Yeah.
Point
well, yeah.
Spread guy on this one.
I get that.
Well, my alter ego is hoping for a Notre Dame win and then a Tiger victory a little bit later on in the year against Notre Dame to solidify a number 2 spot.
Interessante, muy interessante.
Yeah.
All
See,
through ego.
Yes. Yes.
don't
That would be the Tiger Tater.
Yes.
The Tiger Tater.
Oh.
Well, the tater, I guess.
The Tater.
I can't see. I don't like Ohio State. I don't like Notre Dame. But that 17 points, I don't think Ohio State might win, but they're not going to score. They can't make up those 17 points. So we're all on board for Notre Dame. If they win, I guess the Lord and all his Irish whiskey won it. All right. Mikey's favorite team.
Ooh.
I'm going to let you have this one first.
Florida State is garbage. Garbage. It's a 3-syllable word. They lost to Jack State last year, so they had to come out and take it out on Duquesne. Congratulations. They scored 44 points with 22 guys that couldn't bag groceries at Publix anywhere else in the country. They're going, it's at the Superdome. It's not actually at Death Valley, but it's still a home game for LSU more than anything. This one's going to get ugly. Like, the garnet and gold shall flow on the turf of Mercedes or whatever the heck it is now, Superdome. LSU by a lot, and I don't even think LSU is that good. So there.
I tend to agree. I mean, the only. I mean, I've got a list of 4 coaches who are on the hardest seat, and Mike Norvell is definitely on that list.
Let me just say, I had to look that up again after seeing it on here. I was like, they only have 3 points.
That's so that's 2 or so. I mean, he's like he might be 3 on my list of top 4 coaches on the hot seat. Yeah, I don't think LSU's that. I'm not sold on Brian Kelly at LSU. He's definitely. I mean, give Brian credit where it's due. He is probably one of the most intelligent coaches in the game today. The guy's definitely smart. He ain't much. From what I heard, he ain't much of a human being.
Well, so, we did coach at Notre Dame. So.
Well, so he. I mean, I think he's going to come up with a game plan that's going to stump the criminals, and I think 3 is a little low. I think it'll be 10 probably.
Yeah.
Acuna just hit a homer.
All right, Max, what you got?
We'll say LSU is going to win by, we'll say 17.
Like I said,
I think the quarterback.
I had to look this up, and I don't particularly like Mr. Fake Ass Southern accent myself. But geez, Florida State is in just a state of disrepair. Talking about need to turn the ship around there, Commodore.
After this week, we're going to be able to say definitively which school from Tallahassee put up the better fight in the first game of the season. And I'm willing to bet better than even money that it was FAMU and not FSU.
Yeah. I think that's a good little side bet.
Considering that FAM had more athletes than Florida State does, though, I don't know.
All right, for our buddy Dargan.
Ooh, I can't watch. This is probably the most excited game I'm so excited to watch this game this weekend.
Go ahead, talk.
I think it's going to be a really close game, to be honest with you. But I think Arkansas will end up pulling away in the end. I think it's going to be closer than 6. I want to say Arkansas by 3. I think it's going to be kind of like a walk-off in a way. But I know Cincinnati doesn't have the same – they don't have the same, of course, team as they did last year. But I also think their depth is there. I forgot. What's their rank this year for Cincy? Are they even ranked?
I don't know. One of y'all look. I've got about 1 million.
I've got it.
Things open.
You got it, Jim?
Yeah, I got it.
I can leave the Braves game on mine then.
Nice. The White Sox.
Cincinnati is 23 in the AP.
So you go what? 23 and 17.
19.
19.
Yeah, Pitt's
I think it's going to be a lot closer than. I think Arkansas is going to definitely be the dark horse of the West this year.
The dark pig.
Yeah, the dark pig. Oh, geez, but I think they'll pull away with it though. I think they're not gonna. Of course, this first game is going to be really tough for them. I'm interested on seeing how their defense is going to do, and how they're and what they're going to do to replace Braylon Burks. But I'm going to take Arkansas in this one.
I can't disagree with any of that. I think Cincinnati's going to be better than what people think.
Yeah,
I mean they don't, of course don't have Desmond Ridder anymore. They've got depth. They've got depth, and they've got good coaching. Mm-hmm. I just think Sam Pittman is just a little bit better a coach. So I'm not going to labor too long on this one. I'm going to take Cincinnati plus the 6. I think it's going to be really close. It's going to come to the last second.
All right, Mikey.
Give me the Pigs straight up. Both of you made the comment. I don't think people realize how good Cincinnati is. I'm not sure people realize just how good Arkansas is going to be either. They got a winning season behind them last year for the first time in half a decade or better, however long it was. So they know how to win. They've kind of been here at this point. They got their bells rung against Georgia. They got their bells rung against Alabama last year. So they've seen that. So they've gotten a little bit of resilience built up, and they're going to come out. Even if Cincinnati punched them in the mouth to get started, I still see them taking over and winning the game. Maybe not easily, but I think that they'll cover 6 fairly easily.
Okay. Even though I think Cincinnati is still, I think they were deserved of their 23rd rank. I think Arkansas, you got to watch out for them. They just might be world beaters this year.
I think I've got them as my number two in the West. So,
if I think if they can handle Cincinnati, that's a word. If they can handle Cincinnati, watch out for them, and I think they will cover those 6 points. So I'm going to take Arkansas. All right, gents. We got one more. The game. Because what else are you doing tomorrow night?
Going to the game.
Where are you
Campbell.
sitting?
Are you going to the game?
Where are you
Nice.
sitting?
I'm sitting in section Q.
Q. Okay.
Shoot some pics. Send it to us on Instagram.
Oh, I got you.
Whatever.
Hey,
Yeah,
how's Neyland set up as far as the sections, how they're labeled?
It goes from A to what, Z14?
Yeah, something like that.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And then it goes from double. And then that's the bottom rim, and then the top rim is double A all around to ZZ14. It's set up end zones north south, sidelines west is this side, east is this side. The
Boy, that's
the nicer newer side is the north side.
yeah.
The south side is still the older stadium skeleton that's going to have to be upgraded at some point. I turned down some really good seats. I had seats in double X4, which is a corner of the north end zone, and
Okay.
it's upper deck with seat back near the newly renovated areas where all the good food is. So I turned those down. And those would be good. Those would be really comfortable seats. But there are very few bad seats
Yeah.
in there. I've had a few that I would not have, that I didn't. I thought worth what I paid for them. But now that they've got jumbotrons on both ends of the stadium.
I've had tickets. I've had tickets at Clemson that I needed auction to make it up to them. So.
Yeah. Well, it's just a really good. They've done a really good job of making sure that you have good sight lines everywhere.
Yeah.
I think. They've had the space to build out. They ain't much space in Clemson. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
Clemson is really,
Yeah, you can tell by
really,
looking at
really small and really kind of tightly packed in. So I can understand that they have no other way to go but up.
Oh yeah, no. And the west zone is completely closed in, and they're not taking the heel away. So you know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So
that was just a side note.
It's
question.
okay, but it's I think it's the best stadium in the conference. Now granted, I've been to Death Valley one time. I haven't been to Kyle Field. I've been to the absolute worst stadium in the league, and that's
right there.
Commodore.
Right.
That is absolutely the most god awful football stadium I've ever sat in.
I feel like I need to.
Oh Lord.
I think we need to give some backstory here.
Okay.
The reason that I am the Tater Door is we have this group, Field of Streams, that everyone is SEC fans except for me. I'm a Clemson fan, but I happen to be friends with all these guys and brother of the guy that started it. So, this past year, someone said, maybe it was Trent. I said, we need a Vandy fan.
Oh, it absolutely was me.
Yeah, we need a Vandy fan. And I think Mikey should be the Vandy fan.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
So I was like, you know what, fine, whatever. And then I opened my idiot mouth over the summer, and I made the comment that if Vandy wins 2 conference games or 4 games overall, that I will get an anchor down tattoo. So
He did. He said it.
So I have
where's it?
No, we
Was
haven't
it
done it yet.
anchor down or wanker down? With
Wanker.
We'll see. But anyway, so after last week's debacle out in the Pacific, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. But so before people besmirch my good name, no, I'm not actually a Vanderbilt fan. I'm pretending to be.
Brother, let me tell you something. There have been seasons where Vanderbilt has not scored 35 points. They did it in the third quarter against Hawaii. But let's get back to Tennessee
Let's
versus
do
Ball
our
State.
pick, and then we'll get to the good. Bagged.
I've got a daughter that's going to have to go to bed shortly, so we'll get to the pick, and I'm going to.
I'll go quickly. This game, I think, with our offense the way it's geared now, is going to get out of hand very quickly, and I think Ball State will figure out a way towards the end to score some points on us. So it would not surprise me if we hung 50 to 59 points on these guys. So I'm thinking maybe like a 55 to 17 game, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go the minus 35. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm gonna do it.
You're all right, Max.
Let's see. They're definitely going to cover the spread for sure. But score wise, I'm gonna 63 to 17. We'll say that.
Mikey.
All right, so give me the Cardinals and the points. There, I did it.
I'm gonna do this any way I can think.
Hey. If for some reason the Cardinals win, I will get a tattoo of the Clemson logo on me.
No, I'm not saying that they're going to win. Come on.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I was seriously thinking, wait a minute, you think this is another Georgia State? What? Seriously?
I saw that on Twitter somewhere. Somebody said, well, they got beat by Georgia State. Yeah, you know who the fucking coach was?
No, I'm like 42 to 14, something like that. Yeah, but that's not 35 points.
Well, like we were discussing earlier, I hope they leave Hendon Hooker in there to look good, like 3 quarters.
Yeah.
I think by the 4th quarter, we'll have guys in there that are 3rd and 4th string.
Put Dylan Sampson in there, Squirrel White.
Tez Nimrod, yep.
Yep.
Hopefully Milton can actually go it to him.
I'm not going to say the flying Letterman comments.
Who let Mikey in?
Shut up, Preston.
Does anybody know Preston?
I do, yeah. Preston and I share a birthday about 5 years apart. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
We're
slumming, Preston. We're slumming. Yeah. Or actually, he might be. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with a bunch of Tennessee fans.
Yeah, but I think I think the Flying Lettermans might score 21, maybe, but that's going to be with our
scout team defense in there.
Yeah.
Either way, do they cover the spread? That's what I'm going on. So that's.
What I was about to say before I was so rudely interrupted by some damn Clemson fan on here.
Masquerading as a Vandy fan.
I was about to say Vandy fan.
I think it's going to be like a 62, 63 to 21-ish kind of thing. So, yeah, I think they'll cover.
Well, Brando, we've been on this thing for an hour. Let's what we got coming up next?
Oh, I know.
I gotta go, guys.
All right, Mikey,
peace out. We love you, brother.
Thank you for joining us.
Mikey.
All right, Max.
Say hi to the fam.
Nice meeting you, bud.
Will do.
Okay. So, let me get a setup here to share. screen.
So have y'all been hearing all the smoke about Carnell Tate? Did y'all talk about that earlier?
Not really. I mean, we've discussed it. I mean, his people are saying just it's bull. I don't know.
He did wish the director of recruiting yesterday for UT. He wished her a happy birthday. Went on Twitter, made a whole post about it in the
Nice.
uniform.
Oh, by the way, speaking of happy birthdays, I meant to bring this up when we were doing the Arkansas pick. Happy birthday, Darganware.
Happy
Bacon
birthday,
bits.
Darganware.
Brother
Happy
Bacon Bits.
birthday.
Oh, this asshole.
Man, that hairline just that hairline went back to the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
He just needs to shave that off.
Yep. He'll be here in November. You can always offer to do it for free.
Oh,
If you're listening
I'll
out
be
there.
I will be there.
If you're listening out there, that was from a barber, sir.
Yeah. Shine and buffer, whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Shine and buff.
So here we are at the good, the bad, and I hate that Mikey left and the double bagged. So we'll start with the double bag because he's already there. Are you guys familiar with what he said?
Well, I mean, he didn't mention suspension. They mentioned suspension. So obviously nobody's suspended. They're just not available. Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
Chris Rodriguez is not eligible, probably because he's got an ankle bracelet on. Because he's from being a complete dumbass.
Oh, come on, share. There it is.
So for those who don't know, Mark Stoops in his press conference this week got a little testy with some reporters about the status of certain players who may or may not be available for several games this season.
Okay. Yeah. And this is his response.
Need some audio there, Brando.
I didn't say suspended. You did. They're unavailable to play. Well, and I have to be very conscientious of that.
Okay, here we go.
I expect a few of them to have multiple game suspensions, but I don't know. I really, I'll address it next week. I expect maybe one of them to be back next week, but we'll see how that goes.
Can you clarify which players are suspended and which ones aren't on there?
I didn't say suspended. You did. They're unavailable to play.
What's the fucking difference?
I have to be very conscientious of that. I expect.
Do as I say, not as I do.
A few of them to have.
I mean, what's the difference? Okay.
That is the
I mean, we're not talking about an eligibility issue because the NCAA would have jumped all over that. We're not talking about injuries. Obviously, there's some kind of discipline. There's something is disciplinary. We all know what happened to Chris Rodriguez back in the spring. So they're not available. What's the fucking difference, man? Okay.
He's just a
jackass. I mean, look. If you're not going to say it, what I probably would say to the reporters, like, look, call it what you want to. All I know is they ain't playing. So instead of being like, you didn't say that, I didn't say that, you said that.
Well, the thing is, he did say that.
Like a petulance, like my 8-year-old daughter. So he sounds like he's that kind of maturity level. I mean, and I like Mark Stoops, but that right there is just like, seriously, dude, really?
Yeah, that really put my light.
That one right. That's just.
That's worse than Kelly doing his
LSU impression.
Yes.
His Louisiana accent.
Yes. What's their bad, Brando?
The bad is Mr. Kirk Herbstreit, who maybe if y'all have watched some of these, I've probably said a couple of things about him.
You referring to the whole NIL calling out Nico thing? Yep.
Okay. Let's make something ultimately clear, and this even goes out to the oil barons out in Texas who are, basically trying to buy everything, everything that's not every player that's breathing. You cannot induce players to come to your school with NIL deals. You cannot do it. You absolutely cannot do it. This is not on the University of Tennessee. This is not our fault. This is the situation that we have found ourselves in. The NCAA has completely screwed this up. You would think they couldn't be any more incompetent than they already were, but here we are, Mark Emmerick. Okay, and the really good thing I've heard about CFP breaking away from the NCAA is this. Guess what? They're going to crack down on NILs. They're going to step up and regulate them.
To me,
that much more.
Reading between those lines, it was just like he was going to say, well, they should allow NILs, but they should only be for certain schools that are already good.
What, for Ohio State?
Yeah, basically.
You homer piece of shit.
I
like Herbstreit. I do, but that was just, you want to talk about, if we thought that Stoops was talking out his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah, I was listening on the way to work this morning. This one guy who does a YouTube channel called Talking VOLS Network, and watched a video of what he was saying about the whole thing, and it was just, if you're gonna think that if these colleges and universities are trying to get these students to come here for NIL and stuff like that, and basically kind of bribing them in a way. Look at what Bama's been doing. Bama's been doing that. A&M has done that the last two seasons. It can't just be for the top star players and stuff like that, or at least that's what he was trying to get at, saying, it should be for the Bryce Youngs and it should be for those top talents and whatnot that are household names. So, but.
Yeah. It's some people, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to get political, do not understand hypocrisy.
No. That whole, I think he should have just, it was just one of those scenarios where, you know what, you should just keep your opinion, keep your opinion to yourself.
Not as much as we should, sir, but
No, not at all.
I think I've seen the Volunteer Roadshow a couple times, but I pretty much, I'll occasionally watch the Talking Balls listen to the Talking Balls podcast or the or Josh Payton late kick.
Come on, Mr. All Day, and join us in these waning minutes of our show.
Yeah, that's pretty much the one I've listened to is Talking Vols for the most part. But yeah, no, I hadn't heard of them though, but I'll have to check them out.
All right, and for this final thing, I had the good as being our friends to the north, Vandy, which I'm kind of sad that Mikey isn't here to discuss Vandy.
Watching that game, I watched the first half, and Hawaii basically ran through them on their first drive, hot knife through butter, and scored. Same old Vandy, and then Vandy. I think that kind of knocked off the jet lag, and Vandy came back down. It took them to the second quarter to really get going, but they scored, and they immediately forced the fumble on the next drive to score again. And I was impressed. Is that are they going to do the same thing next week against Elon? Probably. There's currently no line on that game. It's going to be their home opener. So we'll see. Their first they have I think they have a real shot at beating Missouri.
Oh yeah.
So I think one win in conference. I think the game I'm going to be the most interested to see is the game against Wake. Is that a French's shirt?
Yes, sir.
What do you think, son?
Love
of course it. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Just like this is a Milo's bottle.
The manna of the South.
Milo's sweet tea.
Milo's sweet tea. Shameless pimping. Hashtag shameless pimping.
Shameless pimping.
Yes. Yes. So this is a French's t-shirt. The fine folks at wonderfultees.com up in Canada were selling this for that's effing beautiful. You're damn right it is. We're selling these at a pretty good price, and so I went ahead and snatched one while I had the chance. It's I can now fit into an extra large shirt. So
Max and Mitch.
Yes.
We say fuck on this show.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, but he's probably
cool. I was trying to be PG, whatever.
No. We're PG-13. We try to keep it to two a show.
Sometimes we're hard R.
Yeah, sometimes we're hard. So hey, I've got this is of course this is my Hawaiian ball shirt.
I'm actually also gonna try and sneak in a yellow bottle of mustard too tomorrow.
Mustard. Well, I will be wearing this to the games. I've got my I'm saving. I'll
picture of the mustard.
Well, I'm gonna wear this. I'm definitely wearing this. Brandon and I are gonna go to the Akron game, so we'll be at the Akron game, sitting in double L, a good shot, good full shot of the field. Double L row 1. So while we're in the upper deck, we're looking right down at the field. But I'll be wearing this, and I've got my support your local hooker T-shirt, and I'll be wearing that. We'll be posting pictures on the Instagram of that. I promise my wife that's the only time I'll ever wear that shirt is at a football game, because she and my daughter both saw it at the same time. She goes, "What's that?" She goes, "A T-shirt that Daddy is never going to wear." And I'm like, I said, I only wear it at football.
Have you ever seen the Freud shirt that says "What's on a man's mind"?
Mm-hmm.
I received one of those being a psychology major, and I was like, dude, the only time I'm aware of this is that there's like a card game, and I know every single person there.
I've got a few shirts like that. I've got another orange and white shirt that I may whip out for a game one day. That's God love my 80-year-old mother. My mother bought it for me because I saw it on Facebook. I said, "Oh, I love this. I must have this." And a week later, I get a package. She bought it for me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe my mother bought this shirt for me." And
Ooh.
it's one of these things that has to be seen to be fully appreciated. But it is quite epic. It's buried deep in my closets, and so my wife never has to look at it.
I'll be breaking out my my checkerboard overalls tomorrow, but I got them cut off with the shorts, so they're like hoochie daddy shorts.
Damn.
I'm not there yet. I'm not hoochie daddy level yet. I gotta drop into the 50, 60 pounds.
Gotta show them legs.
I gotta drop down into the 50, 60 pounds to get there. Yep. Max, you need to watch Behind the Hedges. I do recommend Behind the Hedges.
All right, I got you.
We're an hour and 20 in, so be sure to watch all our shows. Behind the Hedges, which is Georgia Cats. The latest episode aired last night. It's up on YouTube. Be sure to check us out.
Instagram, Twitter, we're all over it, baby.
Check out the link tree for all of our stuff. Hit us if for those of you who like, we don't have merch. We're not we don't have merch, but we are struggling to make a go of this. If you like what you see and you would like to donate to us, Brandon will post our personal Venmo account.
Just stay till the end.
At the end. For those of you who are in the Knoxville, Tennessee area and you see this, please make sure that you go check out Max and his crew at the Pike Barbershop.
Absolutely.
And the Cherokee
Kingston Pike.
Cherokee Hills section of Knoxville. Well, technically, is it still Bearden there, or is it Cherokee Hills yet?
It's still technically Bearden. I guess Bearden / Sequoia Hills.
Okay. Or Sequoia Hills, yeah. It's not Cherokee Hills, Sequoia Hills. All right. So, yeah, be sure to check out Max the Barber, MVX the Barber at Instagram. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm about done for this evening. I've got to get up in the morning and go enrich young minds.
Enrich the young minds of the next.
There you go.
Yes. So, Brandon, you got anything else? No, Mitch says no merch yet. No merch yet. We're working on it. We're working on it. You know, we got it. It's like, so, folks, be sure. Oh yes, the VOLS. Oh Lord, if it's what I think it is, we're going to in trouble.
It is exactly what you think it is.
Throw it up there.
It is exactly what you think it is.
God. Oh, I'm glad my wife does not watch this show. I'd be getting my ass kicked over this.
VOLS weird item. Oh no.
Yes.
Ooh.
He'd already posted it. He posted it on Facebook earlier today. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, a little bait for the
little bait.
Bait for the fishies to come and get.
Is it going to share?
I'm ready for it. It's not not an outlandish picture of Dren, is it?
No.
Oh.
No. Hey! All my nudes are tasteful. Damn it.
Is that OnlyFans? Is that OnlyFans in the link tree?
Oh God. Shit, they'd be paying my still fat ass to stay off of OnlyFans. What are you talking about? They'd be throwing me money. They'd be throwing money at me to keep me off camera. So while Brandon is retrieving the item, folks, remember to get your target practice with the number one at your powder blue and red effigies, visor wearing effigies with the number one ball in golf, Titleist. Make sure to adorn all of your favorite foods, especially your hot dogs. Oh my God! Oh,
There it is, baby.
Yeah. Oh, where you get those at? I'm about to run across the field butt naked like that.
God.
About to have
Oh.
balls shaved in my cheeks.
Just record a video.
I honest to God, will pay you if you're at Florida and jump a goalpost and one
I
of
don't
those.
I don't think the coaches would let me back in the facility and let me cut their hair anymore.
Oh, you just get you a lucha mask or something, cover
Oh gosh, get a mask.
cover it up.
My main question is this: when you see such a thing, do you buy those for the Tennessee fan? Hear me out. Or do you buy them for like an Alabama fan? So you just rip those things off of there.
Oh, this reminds me back in the 2005 Sugar Bowl was Ohio State and Notre Dame when Brady Quinn was still at Notre Dame. And AJ Hawk was at Ohio State, and Brady Quinn's sister. Well, no, they're married now.
Oh, yeah.
They're married now. Brady Quinn's sister was dating AJ Hawk. Well, she was there and she was wearing a half and half jersey, half Notre Dame, half Ohio State. And one of my colleagues at the time said, no, that's not right. She should be wearing a Notre Dame jersey but Ohio State panties. And so that's my sexist line of the night. Good night, folks. I'll be canceled in the morning.
No.
All right, it's off of there.
All right. Well, Max, I want to thank you for coming on. I will be by the shop this week sometime to get my monthly beautification.
You need it. Looks like
we got all kinds of comments all of a sudden.
It's getting shaggy. Talk about a power day. Nice.
This is the best one.
Professionals. Don't say I won't start on OnlyFans.
Hey, you should come to the barber shop. We have some real weird conversations.
Oh my God. I
especially if it's me and Elliot in there talking.
I about got run out of one of your prior establishments for saying something like that was too soon. They did not go over well. But anyway, talk about a power tee. Yeah. All right. Well, I've got to go to bed, y'all. So, like, subscribe, hit us up on Facebook. Brandon, like I said, at the end of the show is going to send our Venmos if you want to donate funds to us so we can buy more crazy ass merch like the
hey, there's
French's.
3 of us. There were 3 pairs of those panties.
Yep.
Do the math, people.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Please no.
Yeah, I'll shave balls in my butt cheeks.
I didn't need that visual.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Thanks a lot, man.
See, sometimes I told him we went hard R. He just let it fly. I like
or put Joe for Joe Milton, but have the O being right in there in the center. All righty. On that note.
Yeah. On that note, I think show's over. Let's before we sink any further in the podcast and the webcasting hell. Yeah, professionals. That's exactly what we are. Sunday we're actually going to get somebody respectable. Not that Max and Mikey aren't respectable, but somebody on this show.
We're going to piss somebody off and pay us money. Hopefully.
Yeah, I know. Like I said in the first show. Look, we have no ends with French's, Titleist, or Milo's. Okay, but I mean, one of 3 things is going to happen, and two of them I'll take. One, they're going to completely ignore us. 2, they're gonna send us some swag, or 3, they're gonna send us a cease and desist letter. The last 2 I'll accept because at least they're paying attention. All right, so there are our Venmos scrolling at the bottom. Good, go Vols. Good, and everybody have a nice evening. We will be back next week to discuss
The oncoming slaughter.
the oncoming slaughter at Heinz Field. If there's
Max,
anything
you're
left.
welcome here anytime we do
Yes.
this.
I'll be back next week for sure.
Nice, buddy.
As if there's going to be anything left of the Pity Panthers after the Civil War. Oh, not Civil War, Backyard Brawl. Civil War's Utah and BYU.
Yeah.
Good night, gentlemen.
Howdy, y'all. Nights.
Go Vols.
Bye.
Go Vols. That was fun.
That was fun.